drizzled or rained in your area, but my side of my Saturday is actually sunny and it's bright and it's beautiful and I'm all smiles. Even though my smile is not complete because for some reason I thought I was gonna be twinning with this person because she's always having the kind of hair that I have on right now, but somehow she decided to put scarf over it and then turn it to fringes. But yes, she is back. Before I tell you who is back, welcome. This is Surviving Sickle Cell. Yes, a show that highlights, and gives a lot of insight into the sickle cell disorder and all that actually comes with it. And Inspiration FM on the show is in partnership with the Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria, and it is in honor of the memory of our blessed Tosi Wagner. My name is Thelma Illems, and guess who's back? She is back, the National Director, yes, of the Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria, Dr. Annette Akinsete.
I get that warm welcome.
Next week, we're not going to permit you to go on a scarf before I take this hair off.
I'll come in all my glory.
Yes, in all your glory.
Exactly like hers.
Yes, she's always like this, and I'm like, yeah, it's twin today. And then I see a scarf, I'm like, oh my goodness. It sure does look nice. So we're not alone in the studio this beautiful Saturday afternoon. We have a guest in the studio, a very pretty one. They say she looks like Miss Nigeria. Guess what? I absolutely agree because I think she's actually more. She's a super duper warrior. She's a queen. She's a fighter. She's everything. What's her name? Her name is Osasele Esangbedo. Esangbedo.
Esangbedo.
Esangbedo.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the Inspiration.
Thank you so much.
It's so good to have you. So I know that we're sort of used to Osasele, but this is Osasele.
Yes.
Okay. Is this Benin Isha? Okay. So she is the COO of Spices and Chillis Quick Fast Foods in Lekki. She has lived with a sickle cell disorder for decades. She's the fifth of 6 children with a BSc in Health Sciences Education and a Diploma in Social Work from the University of Benin. She is also a sickle cell disorder genetic counselor and founder of Noah's Ark Foundation for Sickle Cell. And today we'll be talking about the Tribulations and Triumphs.
Thank you, Thelma.
Welcome to the Inspiration of the Neighborhood. All right, I think let's look for that applause.
Join us.
Super. All right, it's so good to have you. So I know that when the show started, I think this is the 21st episode. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
The very first the trio introductory part of this show, we had an amazing guest. I will not forget Mrs. Popola, who we had time and time again, and the story could not just come to an end.
Yes.
And we just had to keep having her, and she gave us this story. But guess what? From what I have come to understand in the 21 weeks that I have been hosting this show, is that stories actually differ. And that's what just really makes it interesting and that's what makes life as beautiful and as colorful as it is. So I know that you look all beautiful, I know that everything is all beautiful, but we want to hear how it actually all started. When did you actually know? Were you told by parents, guardians, doctors that something actually happened? How did you get to actually discover that you had the sickle cell disorder?
I grew up knowing I was sickle cell.
Okay.
Because I was diagnosed as a baby.
Okay.
3 months old. Yeah. My immediate older brother, was living with sickle cell. So with him, they knew.
Okay.
So I was born in Warri.
Okay.
So when I was born, because they already diagnosed him as sickle cell, they had to do the genotype test for me.
Okay.
So I grew up knowing I was sickle cell, grew up taking my medications, for a lot of people, they grow up before they find out they're sickle cell, but from childhood, from babyhood, I already knew.
Okay.
So I grew up with my medicines, daily routine,
right.
Which I really didn't follow initially. They would give it to me. My mom was religious about it,
right.
but definitely I'll throw some away.
Right. Did you get to pay for that?
Creative ways of yes, because I didn't like taking the medications.
Yeah.
But now, when you're all grown up,
you have sense.
If you have sense, exactly. You know how it is. You know why you need to take them. So now I don't even have a reason not to take them. I have a reason to take them because everybody wants to live a good life. I think generally everybody has problems in life. But living with sickle cell, I think it's a special feeling though.
It's a special feeling,
Yes.
right?
Let me
So
say special.
we don't want you to have to jump to the end. We want you to actually take your time, because I tell you, whoever that's listening to the show right now, you have kids, you have teenagers, and you have adults alike. So as a child, so a child probably listening out there who actually has a sickle cell disorder, and was like you as a kid, they bring the drug to you, because it's one thing for you to actually know that you have a sickle cell, and it's another thing for you to just keep falling ill, and then you're taking drugs that medications that are not exactly so to that kid there listening right now and is smiling and saying, oh my goodness, that's exactly what I do. No, I won't take all the drugs. They're so bitter, they're so much, they're so bulky and things like that. What consequences did you have to face eventually? Because apart from growing up to actually have sense, I'm sure you also had lessons of life, to have actually made you turn around. So in those times really that you were not taking the drugs, did you have to pay for it one way or the other?
Yeah, of course.
What happened to you?
Crisis just comes in.
Okay.
And you know how painful it is. To me, when people ask me how painful it is, it's like somebody hitting you with a hammer. So as a child, I don't think you want to go through that again.
But why didn't you want to take your medicines?
Because you don't know.
One, and also did you feel different from the other children?
Yes.
And the other children, did they laugh at you? Because kids can be very...
But my siblings didn't laugh at me.
No,
but in school, they did.
Okay.
So that's school, they did. But at home, taking the medicine, I'll be like, I just didn't like to swallow. One, I didn't like to eat. Two, I didn't like to swallow. So everything was there. So when I managed to eat small food, I just throw it away. But the consequences was bad. You are ready for school. Then crisis just pops in. Your
just
legs,
like that.
no notice.
Just like
no, there's no notice, not at all.
Nothing at all.
It doesn't give you a sign that it's gonna start. But I think now that I'm all grown up, let me just go back.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, I know when it's gonna start.
Like an aura.
Yes. But then you will know. You are playing, you play football, you dance with your friends. Then you sit down to just watch TV. The next thing, your hand starts hurting, or your leg starts hurting, or your back, or your chest. I think those are the consequences we faced by not taking the medication. The medicines. Right. So if I did take them, maybe I wouldn't have gone through that process because I'm not one that usually have. And my crisis was not so frequent, but when it comes, it was intense.
Can you describe the crisis? What is crisis from your point? What did you experience? Because doctors can describe crisis from their point of view. What does the patient feel? You
give a summary,
about crisis.
Yeah.
Growing up, now I know everything about crisis. It's not just the pain. It can affect your lungs, your kidneys, your heart. It can affect any part of your body. But in my opinion, crisis is what you face as sickle cell. By not, first of all, if your oxygen doesn't work well, if your blood flow does not flow well, then the crisis sets in, which is the pain crisis. And that is the one that you need to face. That is the one that you feel. The other organ one, you don't feel them until you go to the hospital and they find out this is what is going on with you.
Where do you feel the pain?
The pain just crops up from anywhere. Your knees, your ankles, your long bones, your elbows, your shoulders, just any part of your body it comes. And when it comes, it starts from a not so painful part. You just start feeling a tingling sensation. Then it starts increasing into someone hitting you with a hammer. The intensity just increases at once. It's not a gradual process. But for some people, they say it's gradual. But for me, it's not a gradual process. It just comes and just envelopes you. And sometimes it moves from the knee. The next thing you start screaming my back. From your back, your shoulders, your chest, it just moves around. Sometimes you have abdominal crisis. The pain is abdominal crisis to me is the worst because the pain is so horrific. It's as if it's squeezing all your intestines. So you can't really eat when you have abdominal crisis. You can't eat, you can't do a lot of things. But the pain just squeezes you. Then sometimes you feel like you're constipated. And you are not constipated, you need to eat to take your medications. But because you feel you are constipated, you feel bloated, everything just pops, you won't be able to eat. Then the ones in the legs and arm, you won't be able to walk, you won't be able to move around the house. Apart from not moving around the house, you're screaming for pain. You're screaming, and the people around you, they're watching you.
Wondering what's going on.
No, they know what is going on, but at the end of the day, they can't even help you. So it's only your medicine that can help you, painkillers. And sometimes it just doesn't help. And when it doesn't help, that's the worst part because your doctors now think you're addicted to the medicine.
Keep asking
for some people, you are not addicted to the medicine, But because it just does the painkillers just doesn't work or it doesn't do anything for you, the doctors think you're addicted to medicine and they stop giving you the medicine. Yeah.
There's another
So
issue
I had an issue. I had an experience. I had a crisis one night. Excuse me. I had a crisis one night.
As a child?
No.
As a
As a
grown
grown
up?
up. Yeah, I drove myself to the hospital. Agro-Jolado store or something like that. Okay. I drove myself to the hospital. They treated me. But the crisis was so intense that they thought I was addicted to the medicine, and I wasn't. You know, so they have it at intervals every 4 hours, every 6 hours. You take this, so they alternate it. You know, so when they do all that and it just doesn't work, so because of that, because they were not giving me what I was supposed to take, it now affected my eyes. So the pain.
Say that again. They gave you what you were not supposed to take.
No, they were giving me the painkillers, but they were not giving me at the exact time because they thought I was addicted to the medication.
Oh,
do you understand?
So, for instance, they were supposed to give you in 4 hours. They were giving you 6.
No, they were supposed to give me in 4 hours, or they give me in 4 hours, but the 4 hours was not working for me because the pain was so severe. Do you understand? It's not as if they were supposed to give me in 4 hours. Sometimes they are supposed to give you in 4 hours, but I think it depends on the severity of the crisis. They should even do 2 hours. But most doctors don't do that because they feel it will even damage your organs too.
Exactly.
Do you understand? So they have a reason for not giving you the painkillers. But you just want the painkillers because you just want to feel better. So because the pain was so intense and they didn't know the severity of what I was going through, the pain I now had a bust in my retina. So like the doctors explained that it was the severity of the pain that burst the nerve in the retina. You know, so
I would differ from them. I don't think that was the reason. There's what we call sickle cell retinopathy. So it's not the pain. The pain is a symptom. It's what tells you there's a problem going on. But that pathology is happening around the body. So it's not because they haven't given you medication for pain that the retina vessel burst. So sickle cell affects all organs of the body. So it may affect your eyes as well.
Yeah, it may affect your eyes, but sometimes there's a reason for it affecting your eyes.
But not the pain. It's not the pain that the pain is telling you there is a problem. It's body's
but the pain starts from the nerve, right?
The nerve is what tells you that there's pain. It helps you feel the pain. But that pain is coming from a pathology.
I think the nerve helps you feel the pain. So the nerve takes a lot of responsibility for the pain too.
And was overstretched.
Yes.
It's not as
so what caused the eye? What
because that's what I was told. You know, I know it was retinopathy, but that's what I was told.
Retinopathy is a big name for what I would call a simple explanation that there's a problem in the retinal part of the eye. But as you know, since the sickle cell is something affects the blood, blood goes everywhere, so it can affect any organ in the body. And in the eye, I think have we had an ophthalmologist here? But I think one of the specialists came and said this is one of the things that sickle cell can cause. It can cause blindness. It can cause this. And how does it cause blindness? Because it affects the back of the eye and so on and so forth. So that pain you're feeling is your body's way of telling you something is wrong. But it's not the pain that leads to retinopathy. No. It's telling you something is wrong with my body somewhere. And that retinopathy you have is one pathology. Just like you may have retinopathy, another person with sickle cell may have nephropathy affecting the kidneys. Not everybody has all the same symptoms. So it's not the pain is telling you there's a problem, but it's the pain. You cannot say this is the cause of that retinopathy. So just to disabuse your mind there. But meanwhile, the vision is perfect.
No, it's blurred. One of them is
one eye.
One eye.
So it's retinopathy.
Just one eye is blood, but I did a surgery to correct it.
Okay.
So you see, you have to have the means. Anyway, we'll come back to that because the story is long.
really, really long. So I'm just wondering, with time, when you started to grow up, you got into the university. You know, what was life like for you? You know, in terms of stigmatization. You know, because at that point in time, you weren't exactly dependent on family anymore, who were actually supportive. You were now, in the outside world. What was it like for you? Go ahead.
Okay, for me, let me start with secondary school. Okay, secondary school, you know, you go to school in the morning and your friends, you know, there's this, because your teachers know about your condition, they tend to exempt you from certain, they tend to accept you from certain things, and the students in the school not see you as a weakling. Like,
that's a plus.
Huh?
Sickle cell.
They see no. They see you as a weakling, and they just think, oh, they now start teasing. You know, and when they start teasing, oh, she's gonna die soon.
We're exempt from
she's
many things.
From
punishment.
especially clearing of grass, then digging of ridges. So when
those were sort
agricultural
of happy
classes,
moments, right?
yeah, of course.
The plus side.
You sit in class and eat your snack or something. But when they start teasing you, but funnily, it never really got to me what they said. She's going to die young. She's going to die at 18. Some people think is 18. Some people say 21.
Some say 16.
Okay, I've not heard 16. I heard 18. I heard 5.
21.
Then the next one is 18, then 21. She's not going to live long and all that. You know, but that was in secondary school. But I have had fantastic friends in university. My friends were wonderful. They stood for me. You know, even when they entered school before me, because I had to stay at home, I missed JAMB because I had a crisis. So they entered school before me. Then I had osteomyelitis. Yes, osteomyelitis. So I did a surgery. It's an infection of the bone.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had osteomyelitis in my left femur. So I did a surgery for that. So I was on crutches. But I never saw my crutches to work. My friends were always working on my crutches. So when I need to go to the loo, the bad part of it is that my mom will have to bring a pot to me, which I will object totally. No, I don't want to use this because my crutches will be nowhere to be found. Sometimes my crutches is somewhere in one junction. Or
Why did they do
school.
that? Why did they do
They
that?
just enjoyed using it.
Or
They wanted me to feel comfortable with it.
Yeah.
They just want them to feel comfortable and not feel bad about using the crutches. I think so. You know, but at that point it was upsetting. When I look back now and think about it, I say, okay, they were all very good friends. They stood for me.
Right.
You know, I wasn't in school, they were in school, but we were all still grew up together and did the same thing. I entered Diploma. They were in final year when I was in year 1 or year 2. But we were still very good friends. I was still very good friends till today. So I think for me, it is quite different. I didn't really have that stigma. Yeah, I didn't.
But you said quite a number of people said some things, but it didn't get to you.
In secondary school, yeah.
So what kept you going? What did you used to
What kind of things did they even say?
Something like she's gonna die. She's so weak. She doesn't, you know. She looks very tired. She's just.
So what were you
like
holding?
that.
What were you holding on to? Is it maybe something, a Bible from the a verse from the Bible, something your mom
I
says?
was holding on to my parents. She just
Family,
kept me going.
people that say.
Yeah.
Family,
They
that's
just
support.
kept me going. My siblings, my mom, my dad, they kept me going. When I'm in pain, it's as if they are in pain. Do you understand?
Right.
My mom was always there. My dad was always there. God bless his soul. You know, they were all there for me.
Right.
You know, and they keep saying positive things to you that will keep you going.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that was just it. So it really didn't affect me negatively.
Right.
I never felt I was SS. I couldn't do this or I couldn't do that. I had the feeling I'm human. I could do anything. You know, I think that was just it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's what.
And sorry, one of my staff is now doing looking at champions. You know, there's a champions club. We need to let you know about it, so you can register.
Was that
Persons with
Sickle
sickle
Cell
cell.
Foundation?
It's not really under anybody. It's anyone who has sickle cell over 30 years can register and become part of that champions club.
Okay.
And she was just curious, just by a staff of mine, to look at what made them succeed, so to speak, as persons with sickle cell, living well and doing so well.
Right.
And the common thread was family support.
Family support.
That as the common
goes
thread,
a long
it
way.
appears to be
It goes
all
a long
of them had the same story. That family was central.
Right.
Parents and siblings, where everyone was part of it.
Right.
So which is why counseling is when
it's
the
very
council families
essential.
together,
Yeah.
that family should be part. Brothers, sisters should be part of the care for any child who has sickle cell in the family.
Yeah.
So that seems to be
And you know, because you believe in your family, your mom is your first idol before you even know about God. Your mom, your dad.
she teaches
So you believe so much in them. So
Whatever
whatever
they
they say
tell
to you,
you.
just take.
Yeah.
You know, so it just takes.
So
And
what anybody else says,
what everybody
is
else says is
secondary.
secondary. So your primary thought is, I'm gonna live.
Yes.
I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
You know, and all that. Whatever they say to you at home just takes.
Right.
So
Because
I
mommy
think
said
family
so.
support is really, really good.
Very
That's
key. All right, 21 minutes gone past the hour of 1 already. Yes, we have been talking for 21 minutes thereabout, and we do have to go on a break now, Lagos. You have been listening. Should I say the travails? We're coming to the triumphs right after the break of Osasele Esangbedo, who is the COO of Spices and Chillis Quick Fast Foods in Lekki and has lived with the sickle cell disorder for decades. actually over 4 decades. We'll take a break
Look
now.
at you like it.
When we come back, we'll perhaps take your calls if we still have enough time. The number is 0700 923 923 923. Don't go away, Lagos. We'll be right back. Waits for nobody, and yes, we have about 4 minutes. Before we step aside on the show, if you just tuned in, it is Surviving Sickle Cell on your number one family radio station, 92.3. And if you're just tuned in, yes, it is a show in partnership with the Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria and in honor of the memory of our blessed Tosi Buckner. My name is Thelma Illems, and we have the National Director with us on the show of the Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria, Dr. Annette Akinsete, who had been away for quite a while, but yeah, she's back with Half Afro. And then we have our guest in the studio, Osasele Esangbedo, the COO of Spices and Chillis, quick fast foods, Lekki. And yes, she's here because she has a story to tell. I mean, after living with the sickle cell disorder for over 40 decades. So just a quick touch, really, breezing into your triumph. And I'm just wondering, as an entrepreneur that you are today, I'm wondering if this is what has always, if it's been your forte, to do business, to buy, to sell, to meet people, or did it have anything with you not being accepted in the corporate world?
Yeah, it really doesn't have anything in me not being accepted in the corporate world, but I still have to touch a bit of that.
Yeah.
But I personally, I love to cook.
Mm-hmm.
I really love to cook. So when I finished school, I started baking and cooking. So I started doing
immediately
catering
after school.
immediately after school.
Mm.
But I still wanted to work, so I got a job
Okay.
in an advertising firm.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the days that I had crisis in the office, the MD just didn't let me leave. He said, no, you have to stay. And I kept telling him, no, I need to go to the hospital. But my sister coincidentally just called in and we're talking. I was like, yeah, you're not talking about it. I said, I have a crisis. You need to go to the hospital. I said, but my boss said no. He said, why can he say no? Take a taxi now, leave your car and go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. And my doctor was even frowning at him. What is wrong with him? And funnily, he uses that same hospital. So my doctor wrote a letter, who is my uncle, wrote a letter to him and said, you have to be off work for 1 week.
Wow.
For me, knowing the fact that I knew he wasn't happy about the whole situation, I already wrote a letter of resignation.
Wow.
After a week after, when I resumed, I went to him. He said he wanted to see me. I went to him and he was like, I really can't work with you anymore. I said, I know, that's why I brought him my resignation letter. So I gave it to him. Then I continued my catering, and that's where I've been. That's what I've been doing.
Off.
Yeah.
And today
and then you can pace yourself.
Yes. And then
today,
today,
I also started an NGO, Noazak Foundation for Sickle Cell, to support people living with sickle cell. And I think basically counsel. I think a lot of them, they just need to know how to live their life, and they just need not to worry. A lot of them worry too much and end up in crisis.
Right.
And now we are running Spices and Chillis quick fast food in Lekki phase 1
Woohoo!
Admiralty Way.
We're doing great things. And in all greatness, we have to go. Thank you so much, Osasele. It's been a pleasure having you. And Dr. Annette Akinsete, good to have you back.
Thank you,
Thelma.
Lagos, thank you so much for staying tuned. You guys should watch out for Osasele. We just might be having her on. Don't worry. I'm sure you'll find out. But whatever happens, make sure love is just always what brings you home. The Auntie Francis will be here, after a moment after. And I will be here on Monday on the tea break. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Go love somebody out there.